So we've removed my stock wing or spoiler or whatever you want to call it, and we're going to be putting on something much better, I believe. We're going to be putting on a carbon fiber lip. I have no idea what type of one you call this or the model. I don't know what that was about. So obviously this is our lip we're going with. So it's carbon fiber. This is the style of it. So that just sits on the boot, like on the lip of your boot, like this. So this is pretty much how it will look when it is on the car. Obviously that'll be flat down though. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's going to look, so let's get into it. Okay, so obviously the first thing to do is to strip the butt. We want to take off the wing, we want to take off all residue or anything left on here. I had rings around where the spoiler bolted onto my boot, so I had a black, it was pretty bad, it was black ring. I just got a bit of polish, ended up cleaning most of it off. Some of it is still there. Seriously, what the fuck? So pretty much, if you guys know me and you follow me, you know that I love this stuff. This is a super cheap auto wax and grease remover. It's not that expensive, but it's highly effective and it will clean off anything that's on the boot that we want, like, because we're going to be using double-sided tape, so we want it to stick to the boot as well as bolt on. Clean it up. Okay, now after cleaning all the boot, that's all good to go. This is what we're dealing with. So I just cleaned it off with a bit of the wax and grease remover again, and like I said before, it's a bolt-in. So there's your hole, and the bolt comes up under, like up through the boot and then into the spoiler. But for added security, I've got here, this is like a it's just like a really strong double-sided tape. It says it can do up to 30 kilos if you use the whole roll. So we're going to try and use the whole roll. And that should, well, that'll definitely hold it on because it's also bolted on. Okay, so we've just finished putting all the tape on and I ran out slightly, so we've got a tiny little piece there and a bigger piece there. But that should do. It's still bolted on, so it's going to hold pretty much without the bolts anyway with just the tape. So it would be definitely, it'll be fine with the bolts. Now, I'm not sure about your car, if yours is the same or if you got a different car, whatever. But my bolt holes are really simple. They're just here on the side, and all I've got to do now is put the spoiler on and then run these bolts. Make sure you put a spring washer on, and basically all we're going to do is we're going to put it through there and then we're going to stick it on because I want to line it up before I do any of that.
2 hours later. Okay,
I'm really pissed off right now because these holes will not actually line up. So whoever's designed or whoever's made this particular spoiler actually, I don't know, they're off by like 3 mil or 2 mil each side, I think. So there's barely anything, but it's just enough for it not to fit properly, and I don't want to crack the fiberglass in it because then I'll be in all sorts of trouble. So I'm going to put this in a video because sometimes things don't go to plan, and sometimes you're just going to have to put it away and try it again another day. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to pack it back up in the car, I'm going to go home. I'm going to have to drill my boot holes a little bit bigger just to, I guess, compensate for the width that he's stuffed up on. So that really sucks, but I guess it happens. There's always problems when you're modifying cars. Okay, so obviously it's the next day. Last night I ended up drilling out the holes on the bumper like I said I would, and I've actually got it on there. So it's fitting fine. I've taped up where it needs to go, and then I'm just gonna, I guess I'm gonna stick it down and then do the bolts after it. So it's a little bit windy, so you're sort of inside the boot stopping any wind. I'm hoping it's stopping it. It might be a little windy, I don't know. So the problem was with the spoiler is that the holes on the spoiler were too close together compared to the holes of the boot. So all I did was made them a little bit bigger because they were only like 2 or 3 mil off. So I just made the holes a little bit bigger in the boot, and then they fit fine now. So pretty much what I'm going to do is it's on there at the moment. I've taped up and marked where it is. So as you can see, sorry about the wind, I've actually taped up and marked where the spoiler sits on the boot. So when I stick it down, I guess I'll have a guide of where to sit it, and then the bolt holes will hopefully line up as well. Now I'm going to try and do that in a way that I guess it's not going to stick completely before I get the bolts in. So I think I'll just peel off a little bit of the other side of the tape, and then once it is on, then I can peel off the rest of it while it's underneath. I've seen that done before. I'm happy that it's on, and I guess let's just pull it off and put it on properly. Anyway, I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so that's how it is meant to go. That just took me maybe 10 minutes max, 5 to 10 minutes to basically do exactly what I done yesterday, which was clean the boot and then peel the sticky backing off the tape. So it's really simple if it just fits on perfectly, but sadly mine didn't. Anyway, I'll give you a look at the finished product. You're still in the boot because it's too windy, so I guess let's have a peek. This is the finished product on the back of the car. So I cleaned it off again before I put it all on, stuck it down, remembering that I had those tape marks around here, and I just lined it up with them and then bolted it in as I done it. So sadly what I don't like is it doesn't line up with the tail light. That's a bit annoying, but I guess you can't win everything. I think it looks great. It really complements the car. It goes good with the little back sunshade thingy. So all in all, guys, I think it turned out really well. Sadly, things do go wrong and you have to do it the second day. Don't stress about that, because I guess you'd prefer to do it right than to stuff it up. And if I kept just trying to thread the screws into the threads of the fiberglass, I would have cracked fiberglass and the threads would have been spinning in there and it would have been ruined. I would have to buy a new one. So I'm really happy I waited, because I think it's just the much better option to do. Don't rush and end up wrecking your new carbon fiber lip, because that will not be a great turnout, especially when you have to buy a new one and they're not that cheap. Anyway, I'm super happy with it. I think it looks great. I can't wait for the next modification that we will do. To be honest, I'm unsure of what that is yet, but something will pop into my mind very soon. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that gave you some pointers on how to install a lip on your own car and to make sure it fits before you go putting it on. But yeah, things happen, remember that. You can't do much about it. So thanks guys for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you are keen on keeping up with the rest of the build of this car. Remember to click one of those 2 videos at the end, and I will see you guys next time. Ciao!